Hey, good day. This is Greg Lewis, the City Manager of Lebanon, New Hampshire. We want to welcome you to Lebanon in Depth today. This is our second show. We're looking forward to these shows. We hope the public, as they listen to these shows, can get something about the City of Lebanon more than they might have known before. The City of Lebanon, as a sustainable community, is very interested in being transparent. And transparent, mentally, simply, we want to be very visible and be able to respond to questions and make sure the citizens are aware that we're really concerned and care about what they have to think, and this is an opportunity to show that. In the next shows, if you'd like to send me a question you'd like to have answered on the show, just use my email, and that's greg.lewis@lebcity.com. Just please feel free to do that, and then you say a question and you'd like to have it answered in the next show, and I'll really do it. Some items this morning. We're going to work in this first session a little bit about some of the overview as to the Lebanon in depth as to city management systems. And then in the second part of our show, we're going to devote our time to our great Lebanon City Library. And so that's really, I'm looking forward. Our director here is available to us today, so we'll take that up in our second half. The first thing I like to go out of the chute with as the city managers, there's a system on the website, and it's really called Lebanon Connection. It's Leb City Community Connection. Now, if you go on the website on the front page, it'll say click the Lebanon Community Connection, and just look at that section. Click it, and once you click it, it'll open up. And I made copies of it so for my reference points today. And the copies will show you that you need to select the topic. The topics, there are a number of topics. I'll read a couple of them. You could talk about the airport. You talk about cemeteries. You could talk about recreation and parks. You could talk about solid waste. Talk about public works, fire, GIS. So there's a whole variety of all the city departments there. Now, if you wanted to make a comment or a suggestion or have a question, or if you've got a complaint about a particular aspect of the city's operation, just click one of those boxes, and then you'll show up in a dialog box, and you can enter in that dialog box what your concern is, what your question is, and if you have a complaint, put that complaint in there. And that will be sent to a designated person for that particular subject matter, and they'll receive your email, and they'll read, and they must respond to your concern, comment, question. And we give them a time to respond, 3 days. If it's not responded to in 3 days, then the email shows up on my email, and then it shows that we haven't got a response back to a citizen, and I follow up to ensure you get a response. We're also going to use that to track the nature of the concerns, because we want to make sure that we're seeing like the whole elephant here, the city of Lebanon, exactly what people are concerned about. And if there's patterns of comments, questions, concerns, complaints, we want to identify those patterns so that maybe we need to change our system in some of those areas. Because we'd like to be a flexible, nimble city that can respond when we see systems issues in our community and on the way we deliver services. So please use that Lebanon Community Connection as your avenue to go ahead and make your concerns known. The library, which we'll mention later, also has computers, and they would be able to assist you in terms if you don't have a computer and you want to access the internet and get to that connection, they'll help you. The other thing I want to specifically engage in this segment is we are really looking forward to the opportunity to interview our finalists for our position of Director of Planning and Zoning. So we want to share that moment with citizens, and we're providing an open meet and greet period where you can come and meet the finalists for the Director of Planning and Zoning. And so we want you to look on your calendar to Thursday, May 19th, between the hours of 4:30 and 6:30. During that time, finalists will be coming into the community room there at the Kilton Library, and that's over in West Leb. And you'll be able to come in and meet the finalists. They're going to come in one at a time. So each of them will come in and spend some time with citizens at that meeting room at the Kilton Library. And you'll just have a chance to see them personally and touch base and ask them why they're looking to come in here and help us with planning and zoning. For me, as the new city manager here, I arrived here on May 28th, so I'm now February 28th, and now I'm in May. So I finished a couple months up, and I made the number one priority I have is the master plan for the city of Lebanon. I am absolutely totally committed to producing a product that is reflective of all the participants in the master planning process. Now, it's gone a long time, much more than I would normally expect. This is my fourth master plan that I've done. This master plan, since the other ones I began in the beginning and was in it to the end, this one I'm at the end, and it's been a very long, unwinding trail. So I am trying to pick that up. We're going to have a team. We have a team. We're working on it right now. We worked yesterday. We're working tomorrow. We're going to work on that, and we are taking all the information we've been given through all the committees, and all the data that's been given, and all the notes that have been taken, and all the comments that have been made, and we're incorporating them into what I hope to be is a high quality product, which is the master plan of Lebanon, based on all that you and the citizens here have done. So it's not creating a new situation, and from my perspective, it's taking and doing honor to those who participate in this process. And once we've completed this product, we're going to take it back upstream to the people that were involved in this process over these many years. And we're going to kind of get your reflection on a product, and I'm going to make sure that it's a quality product that's presented to you, and that it reflects what your views are and your beliefs, and that it points the way. It's like a compass. It provides a path to the future, a preferred future. The whole point of master planning is to take the 13,000 plus residents here and have them be able to understand that of this master plan, that incrementally it will be able to assist each and every citizen of Lebanon, each and every resident of Lebanon, and your families and your friends that live here in Lebanon, that incrementally the master plan will provide a better path to the future that will be helpful to all of you in many ways, economically, environmentally, and in socially and culturally and historically and development-wise. It's a real balance, so everyone benefits to some degree. Master plan is not about winners and losers. I think that should be really clear. It's about unifying for the future. Unifying based on what your directions are, and then that is where we're going to move. So this critical piece of getting a planning and zoning director who will be a key project leader for this plan, along with myself, I've given myself the title of being the champion of this plan. So I think that between myself, champion, and the new planning and zoning director being the project manager, making sure this product is produced, this is going to be an effort worthy of the greatness of Lebanon and its citizens. So that's what we're about right now as the number one priority. You have to do more than just one thing in the city. So I do want to share with you that the city is just a bustling, robust, a very active area of the world. It's one of the most robust and vital communities I've ever come across. Somebody here with fresh eyes, I see so much going on, and what I do see is that your policy leaders, your city council members, have set forth a vision, and the vision that they have set forth is to basically be a model for a balanced and desirable, sustainable community, preserving the New England rural character while smartly managing its growth and urbanization as the hub of the Upper Valley micropolitan area, and meeting the needs of the present, i.e. you, today, without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their needs. That is, the people that will follow us, the children, the grandchildren, the great-grandchildren, all those who will follow in the footsteps of those here to serve their needs as well as the needs of today. That's a really magnificent vision that the City Council has adopted. And now the part is you have to deploy it. We have to find every nook and cranny in the city operation and organization, and we need to deploy that vision, and we need to make it into missions for each of the departments, the purposes of those departments. It needs to be melded into outcomes that are statistically able to be measured, and it needs to be data-based. It needs to show concrete, on-the-ground results that show that this vision is being deployed in everyday work, everyday action, everyday deeds. So everything the city does has to match up against the grand vision that it has. I'm finding that my job as city manager that I have been given is basically to unify. In terms of a future, when you have so much pressures economically, culturally, on all the different types of people that were here, we know what a pressure cooker can be. We also know the pressure on the infrastructure. We know the streets, the roads, the bridges, the need for having abilities to transmit voice and data. There's so many things that are pressing on us that in order to make a successful community, it must be unified. And the unity must be within here, and it must be with our regionally, and we must have collaboration regionally, and we have to build partners wherever we go in our community. I think that's my total focus in terms of my personal mission, is to unify others. I'm going to look forward to working with each and every one of you as we do this work together. And one of my number one priorities is 100% Lebanon citizen involvement in their government. So you need to stretch, and I've always told my children that you need to stretch. And so if you're going to stretch, well, what better than to put out in front an outcome of 100% citizen participation. And participation can come in so many different forms, from a simple act of registering to vote, to participating in a community meeting, to joining a committee, to come and participate in a proposal I have to create a citizen academy. And in that citizen academy, it'll be an opportunity to learn about Lebanon and the issues and what tools we have. And that will be something I'm working for. So in 2012, we will be undertaking the Citizen Academy. I'd like your input on a Citizen Academy and what it should look like. I'd like to cover many aspects of the city in that academy. Another thing that I'm very concerned about is, of course, the finances. We are beginning the 2012 budget process. We had a really excellent work session that the City Council authorized and allowed us to partake. It utilized all our department heads and counselors who were able to attend, and we worked for significant hours on this one day where we started at 1 and we finished around 7 something. Basically, we tried to create a path and understood what we're going to do operationally in 2012 and what we're going to do in terms of the budget. What we're going to do is we're going to be frugal. We have to look at what's affordable in all that we do, that's affordable to you as residents. It has to be something you're willing to provide, that we provide. It needs to build on the strengths of Lebanon. That's the key strategy. If we look at it, we unify, we are frugal, we look at affordability, we are building on strengths, and we're building on collaboration and partnership. You know, when the storm's outside and it's economics, so whether it's coming from Concord or Washington, D.C. or the global world, it's not so much the fact of the storm coming, it's how you and how I, as members of this community, react to the storm. What's our behavior? And our behavior should be and must be to be a organization that's committed to its citizens, to communicate, to listen, to cooperate, to collaborate. there's a lot of nice things out there that we have possibilities are, and they're within our means. And that's what we're going to be doing. The planning and zoning goes on as we do master planning. And after that, we'll be looking at what other devices we might have in order to bring balance. We need balance. In bringing forward subdivisions and in bringing forward major projects, every time in the room with those subject matters, I think we all have to be thinking of what is good for every member of our community, all the 13,000 people. Not a neighborhood, not a region, not a developer, not the city government itself. It's really what's good for every member of the community, and how we need to do many things. In a community, there are like 4 aspects of a community. There's people that like to explore, dream up wonderful things, and have visions and leave legacies. There's people that like to control. They like orderliness. They don't like disorder. They don't like clutter. There's people that like to pursue their freedom, pursue economic well-being. They like to pursue having meaningful lives. There are people that like to preserve the past and protect the past. You need all those type of people because everybody has an aspect of that within themselves. So we need to have everyone unify and know that we need a balance between all those factors. We can't have someone overreach and try to extend too far for a grand vision or legacy. They have to be within the boundaries of what's best for everyone and what concerns everyone. I think every vision is an important one, whether it's a vision like my father, who was a truck driver, and his vision was coming back from World War II in the Pacific and raising a couple of kids and driving a semi-trailer truck, and versus someone that has a grander vision of creating a whole new part of a community. Every vision is important, and so we're going to work to balance all those things that's going to happen to us. This month, we'll be very busy in the city. Please pay attention to the website. The website is a great resource for all the information that you have available to you on the website. Also, as I lead into the library, please utilize the library. The libraries we have are just wonderful. We have 2 wonderful libraries, and we'll be talking about them in our second segment. My wife and I, the first thing we did when we moved into Lebanon from New York was we went down and got a library card. And the reason we did that is because just for the quality of life, to have a library card that opens up doors that you can read and that you can utilize the periodicals and that you can utilize the computers and that you can meet people that are likewise committed to learning, lifetime of learning, and a lifetime of enjoyment in libraries. I think that was very important to us. So we're looking forward to that and hearing that update. We are coming up this month to Memorial Day, and I'll be mentioning more in my second show this month about Memorial Day. But that's a very important event. With the recent actions by the SEALs in overseas, it brings back to you that we have people in conflict, and every veteran in our community, we should reach out to them and thank them for their service. And in this May season where we have Memorial coming up, and if they need any assistance, please let's do that to assist our veterans. I think that's kind of ending our segment today. Now the next meeting we have, I will be bringing back to you more news on the selection process with regard to the Planning and Zoning Director. I also will be bringing back the Recreational Department and what's coming up when the 250th anniversary of the city is being celebrated this summer. We're going to have a remarkably great 4th of July here in Lebanon. So this summer was going to be a very, very busy summer in the city. And so again, please use the Lebanon Community Connection to make your complaints and your concerns known. And please do listen to this show. And I look forward to here as we're moving forward. I think the only other thing that I would mention is that there's a lot of public works projects that I'll want to cover with you as we go down through the summer, and we're going to be reviewing each one of those projects. We're still unraveling some of the things that happened in the Concord, and as it becomes clearer, I will bring those back to you as well. They're still meeting there, so we won't know all that's happened until we finally see the results after they kind of come out. I'd like to next welcome my guest. Now, Lou, we're going to have this name. Lou, would you lead and make sure I do this right?
Correct. Lou Ungarelli.
Lou Ungarelli. What a great name. Lou and I have had a really nice visit as I arrived here. He gave me a wonderful tour of the library, and I think he's really pretty proud of the library. So I, as a newcomer, have looked at the library, and I am certainly very impressed. And I wanted Lou to join us today so he could describe a little bit about the library and what different areas that people should be aware of. So Lou, would you like to go ahead and lead that out?
Sure. I'd love to talk about the library. Just ask me a question, I'll talk about the library. But first thing I want to say about your priorities, listen to your priorities. I think you're doable. And I think the city of Lebanon's really a great city. I've been here 5 years, so I had the opportunity to not only meet with counselors, both on committees and in front of council, and also with the department heads. And I think you have a good structure there. You have good department heads. Take that from somebody who's been governing for 30-some-odd years now in several other cities. And also the councilors care, and they're all on the same page. And also the citizens. I've just from the interaction with citizens coming to the library is really, really good, and everybody's proud of this city. It's a great city, and it's good to be up in the Upper Valley.
It's really impressive.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's every time I say well, I'm from Lebanon. It's one of the best kept secrets in the state of New Hampshire, and it really is. It's a real thriving community. So I wish you well, and I think the department heads too will rally behind you. That was a good meeting we had the other day about business plans and the direction of the city, and I really felt good about that.
That's
so
good.
Thank you for having it.
Well, thank you. I felt good about that too.
Yeah.
Now tell us about the library.
Well, about the library, as you know, the Lebanon Public Libraries system consists of two libraries. The Lebanon Library on the Green, next to the post office, and also the new Kilton Library, which opened in July of this past year, 2010. Both libraries are very, very busy. There's a day that you go by, especially in Kilton, that the parking lot is not full. We had built that parking lot for 27 cars, and it's not large enough. So that's a good problem to have. But both libraries are very, very busy. Our internet workstations are all active. I know you had mentioned about the internet. So we have people working on the internet, not only doing their emails, but doing research. A lot of students there going online to college, a lot of people looking for jobs. So it's kind of exciting about the internet at both libraries.
I was amazed about so many things as you took me on the tour that maybe not all of us have realized what's going on in the library. I mean, there's so many centers of activities.
Yeah, and people think libraries are just books, but the libraries are more than just book warehouses. They're as I mentioned once, they're centers of the community where people can come not only for their informational needs, but their recreational needs. This is both libraries now, but we had a needs assessment done prior to the Kilton being built. Several items came out to the forefront from a community needs assessment, and one, of course, was to have a library with books and materials, have the internet, have a modernized 21st century library, have meeting room space. There was not too much meeting room space in the city in West Leb. So we have meeting room space. We have a 120-seat auditorium that you'll be meeting with people. We have a conference room, 12 that seat 12 people. We also have a little tutorial room that seats 6 people. And also at the Leb Library, we have the APR room, which is our all-purpose room that we have meetings. We are inundated with groups trying to meet at the library, from sewing clubs to history clubs, poetry workshops, and so forth. So we're really pleased with the activity there. Another item that people had asked about was to have a green area in West Leb, and that's why the Kilton Library is really actually situated right on Main Street, and the back of the library is all green area for parks and for park-like atmosphere.
I noticed there was benches and stuff to us.
We have benches there. We have people now, even with this nice weather, sitting on benches reading, actually with their laptops, because we have Wi-Fi service.
Oh, okay.
So when we're closed, I'll come in to work in the morning. I'll have people already in the parking lot using their computers, using our Wi-Fi signal. Both libraries, Kilton and
both of them
Leb.
have Wi-Fis.
So that's really exciting. In terms of our programs, we have programs ongoing, children's programs and book discussion groups, plus a lot of not-for-profits have programs that they have at the library. So, but I promised the children's librarian that I would talk about summer reading program.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Because this is a good segue into the summer reading program, because past April was National Library Week, where everybody came in to celebrate the libraries, how important libraries are. And now we have the summer reading program. So in the end of this month, in early June, all the children's librarians will go to all the elementary schools and talk about our summer reading program, and talk about how to register. Kids can register at their school. They can even get library cards while the librarians are visiting them.
Oh, that's nice. They can learn how to access the library then.
Correct. And the theme of the summer reading program is One World, Many Stories. So what we usually do at summer reading is that kids have goals. You have to read a certain amount of books. You read those books, and then you get a prize, or you get a ticket for a prize. And summer reading is not only entails elementary school kids. We have preschoolers. Parents could read to their child with picture books, and then the child can get a ticket. And then, of course, there are K through 8 kids can read and get a ticket and a prize. And we have teenagers that also can read. And believe it or not, we had adults complaining, how come we can't be part of the summer reading program? So now we have an adult section for summer reading, so they can read their books.
They can read their books.
Correct. And then talk to the librarian about their books, and then at the end of the summer reading program in August, I think we're going to have a grand party for everybody.
That's great. Because I always remember reading to my children and how that was so much fun, reading to the children, and the children reading to me.
Correct. Yeah.
And that was such a neat relationship. And then to see them being able to both read and be read to at the library.
That's great. Actually, libraries are, we start them young, preschoolers, but the libraries are probably sometimes one of the first instances where a child gets socialized with other children. And that is really good, because they socialize with other kids. And as one step further, it's young parents and caregivers also form their own networking while their children are in story time.
You make your friends, some of
the
new friends.
And very new friends, new people in the community and so forth. So libraries are great in that regard in terms of the children, and you want an educated populace, of course.
Yeah.
An educated populace means good citizens, means a good workforce, and better government. So we're proud of what we stand for. I have to read these programs, or I'll be in deep trouble.
I don't want to send you back in.
Well, we have Odds Bodkin, who's a renowned storyteller, actually internationally.
Oh, my.
So he'll be at the Lebanon Library. Nilda Gomez is one of our library staff members, is also an artist, so she'll be doing a children's art program.
Oh, how nice.
Someone's coming in with a batch of over 30 reptiles for kids so they can touch
nothing
snakes
but
and turtles and so forth, and they really have a grand time
there.
there.
Turtle.
At Kilton, we have a storytelling duo, Jennings and Ponder. They perform and they still tell stories. We have Stephen Blunt, who's a musician that we've had on several occasions. He packs the house. It's just amazing how many people just follow him. And of course, tie-dyeing for kids, yoga for little kids, maybe candy sushi was another article, and a film series. So we're kind of a great program. So we're looking forward to that. Kind of gets the summer going for kids.
Yeah. And where will this be located?
Both libraries. So you have to look at the schedule. Okay. Go on the website. The library has a link to the city's website. and you go right on to the library, and you click onto children's programs, and it'll have a link. And we'll have flyers such as this.
That's nice.
As a matter of fact, these are our flyers for children's programs during the year. On Mondays at Lebanon, we have Mother Goose Time, which is rhymes and songs for young children, infants to 2 and 4 years old. Tuesdays are preschool story time, and Thursdays is story time for all caregivers. And then we flip-flop and we go to Kilton. So we have basically the same programs that people can go to both libraries. We have people going to story times all week. They go from one library to the other library. So it's really kind of interesting.
Well,
so really
but what a way to, a reasonable way to spend some of your time in the summer with your children, your grandchildren, your neighbors' children. I used to gather up a bunch of neighborhood kids and take them to the library. It's a great time, in times of affordability. That is an affordable thing to do.
Well, we're finding how we are very, very busy in these times, and so we're really proud of that.
That is really, really, really nicely done. Nicely done. So I'm hoping that you see the assets of a city here, and the libraries, the 2 libraries we have, are tremendous assets for us to utilize and support and find our ways. I know there's a foundation for the library, isn't
Correct.
there?
We started a Lebanon Public Libraries Foundation, which it's a 501c not-for-profit public charity. And that was used to be the conduit to accept charitable gifts for the Kilton Public Library as a capital campaign. Libraries, people give to bricks and mortar, and we're really proud of that, and the city helped. And we were able, in an economic downturn, able to raise $2.7 million plus what the city gave us. So we built a $5.2 million structure.
Nicely done. A lot of kudos to the people that participated and continue to participate in a foundation. Those are kinds of things we all need to look at and support. We have to find different ways of supporting the services that we love and enjoy, and the library is certainly a very important one.
And we're working together with Recreation and Parks. On Thursdays we have Romp and Stomp. It's Thursday mornings. It's for little 2 and 3-year-olds dancing around, also socializing, and that library shakes with those kids dancing around, having fun.
That's great.
And the parents meet also. And this summer we're trying to work with Rec and Parks maybe to have a market days at West Leb.
Excellent, excellent.
So it's library and Rec working together.
Well, Lou, do you think we've covered some of the ground?
I think we've covered some of the ground.
Are you going to be able to go back to the library and say you did your job?
I hope so, because I have a great staff. They're really dedicated, and they care. And so that was just my last message to people, is that was the one thing that we really I'm really proud of, is that I have a good staff with good work ethic and good customer service skills. So thank you.
That's really terrific.
Thank you.
As we close our show today, I just want to thank you for joining the show. Remember to use the Lebanon Community Connection. That is your way of getting your input into government. Remember my goal of 100% citizen participation. Get involved with the city. It's important for all of us to do something with regard to the city, because we all own the city. It's part of everybody's in the room, 13,000 of us. And also remember the date, May 19th from 4:30 to 6:30 at the Kilton Library, where you get a chance to meet the finalists for the Planning and Zoning Director position. I want to thank you for joining us today, and I look forward to our next show. I want to thank Library Lou
thank you.
for his attendance today, and thank you again. Bye-bye now.